I'm going to do a few videos called For Those Who Believe. I'm going to try to keep them short, which is a problem for me because I get long-winded when I get excited. And I get excited when I think that I'm hitting things that haven't been said. The first thing for those who believe is that it's tough to pray. You know, to pray for your wants when you don't have any wants. The whole idea is to lose the idea of the ego and to almost die before you die. So if you're dead, the only thing you could want is resurrection of the dead. But maybe letting Hashem do whatever he wants. Because quite frankly, I think that's what it is anyway. I don't think there's an interaction. I don't think there's a partnership. You see? I think I'm dead and God lives within me and moves me. And that's the whole drive. To be dead and have God live within you and to move you. So what am I praying for? I'll still do my tefillin, but what am I praying for? The other thing is, for those who believe, I don't like the idea of synagogues. First of all, as you know, I come from New York here. And the synagogues have become social institutions. Besides being, when you're in there praying and things like that, everybody's talking and, it's become a mumble jumble. Then it's just social. And then it's, in my opinion, the rabbis have a good livelihood for 40, 50 years. That's the way I see it. I see the same thing in the institution of hospitals. As you know, I read that Polish Hasidim didn't have internal medicine interaction. So in other words, if you broke a bone or something, they could fix, you could fix it. But no internal medicine. You see? And so that brings up the idea of if you want to pray, or pray that you're not, that God heals you, which He's going to do anyway if you really believe. See, that's the whole point. This is for those who believe. So for those who believe, they don't have to ask because God's working in them, in their body. And for those who don't believe, God's working in the body anyway, but it's a whole other trip. As I'm sitting here on the bench that I used to sit with Dad, I'm in front of another institution, a school. This school is just a place so that people can graduate and be wage slaves. So they can graduate into the community. They're sitting in classes of 30 people, so how can you learn? Barely learn if you had a one-to-one tutorship or a haver, like Judaism. And learning these secular studies is a joke, as I say, je parle français. Presque couramment. Yeah. So you can imagine how much time that took for an idiot like me who has to look up every word a dozen times. So that's one. Next, across the street here is a library. I remember going into those libraries, always having trouble with the librarians. Did you ever meet a librarian didn't have trouble with? They wouldn't become librarians unless they had a certain defect. You know? So these school teachers who also have the defect, and the librarians have the defect, and the synagogue people have the defect, and the hospital people have the defect. So everybody has the defect. So I say extirpate yourself from the defect. You know, just extirpate yourself. See what happens. Could it be any worse? Did you ever meet a happy man? Tough to find, isn't it? But getting pumped with ads, you know, on television. Fashion. The acceptance of animals in the street. That people have a dog. You know, a pet. So many people in trouble. They have a pet. So these things, this, by the way, is what I've been receiving. I've been receiving this, and this is my level. You know? And as I walk down the street, as I said in the previous video, I don't see it, I don't get it, and people aren't going to get it, what I'm talking about, because it comes with the territory. It comes with the beard, it comes with the hair. And when you have the beard and the hair, then it's not so far out to feel that everything comes from God. Every last detail. Like the manna from heaven. Waking up in the morning again. Everything. Every breath, which looks like a perpetuation. But that perpetuation is also a singularity. So this is the beginning of some videos for those who believe. You might be surprised the level of Judaism you can reach when you question some of the institutions that have developed over these years and the acceptance of these institutions amongst the populace as if they're necessary facts. We'll go on from here.